You forget keys, forget calls, forget what you meant to say, thinking it's just age. But what if that's the first hint of cognitive decline? And you laugh, forgetful again. But if those moments happen more often, more regularly, it's no longer a laughing matter. That could be an early sign of a memory slowly fading, unnoticed. Actually, not quite. Aging doesn't automatically mean memory decline. Just as gray hair doesn't mean your mind isn't still sharp. Many studies show the brain can still learn, remember, and even recover if you know how. If you don't start making small changes, your memory won't just fade, it might not come back. So what's causing this forgetfulness? And what can you do starting today for a clearer, sharper memory? No expensive supplements needed, no complex exercises, just a few small tips, easy to do, easy to remember, but incredibly effective. And you don't have to do them all at once. Just pick one and start. Because you deserve a sharp mind to recall old stories, keep up with the grandkids, and most importantly, to still be you at any age. If this topic sounds familiar and maybe hits close to home, please stick with us till the end. Who knows? Just one little thing we talk about today could help you feel more at ease, healthier, and understand yourself a little better. Let's dive in. Just like your body needs exercise to stay strong, your brain needs proper training to stay sharp. And one of the simplest, most effective ways to train memory is switching from remembering with words to remembering with pictures. Ever walk into a room and completely forget why you went in there? It seems normal, especially as we age, but it could be subtly erasing bits of your memory daily. Many seniors often say, "I remember faces, not names," or "I meant to do something, but the moment I walked into the room, poof, it was gone." These senior moments might seem like just aging, but it's not always about age. Often it's because we're trying to remember everything with words. Our brains, especially as they mature, aren't as quick with dry, text-based info as they once were. Instead, they respond faster and stronger to images, which the brain practically considers its native language. When you try to remember a to-do list or a new name just by repeating it, your brain works overtime to translate those words into pictures. And in that process, info easily gets dropped. A University of Toronto study found older adults remember info better when it's paired with specific images. They call this the visualization effect. It can boost long-term memory by 30–40% compared to just reading or listening. This means if you picture a vivid, funny, or even bizarre image with what you want to remember, you're far more likely to recall it. Take Mr. Charles, 76, from Seattle. He often forgot new names at his veterans meetings. He met someone named Daisy. He pictured her in a field of daisies. And from then on, seeing her brought the image, then Daisy just popped into his head. He said, "Since then, I turn every name into a small picture in my head." Seniors aren't losing their minds. They're often navigating a word-heavy world where no one paints them a picture. If they stick to remembering with words, seniors can quickly feel tired, stressed, and anxious about forgetting. Over time, this hits not just memory, but self-confidence. And when you lose faith in your memory, you might stop trying, leading to real decline. Turn everything you want to remember into pictures. Need to remember, take meds at 9 a.m. Imagine arraying an old clock, holding the pill like a jewel. Need to buy eggs, milk, apples. Picture a chicken in a milk carton hat riding a red apple. The weirder, the better it sticks. And remember, your brain isn't broken. It's just waiting for you to speak its true language. Images, colors, and fun stuff. So today, why not try turning memories into little mental snapshots? Visualizing memories is one way to wake up your brain. But to truly kickstart your mind daily, you need something else, simple yet powerful: walking. Some people stay sharp not just because they're smart, but because they walk every morning. Skip that habit and your brain might just sleep in permanently. You've probably heard, "Want to be healthy, you gotta walk." But for seniors, fewer realize morning walks aren't just exercise. They're the simplest way to wake up the brain, boost memory, and keep minds clear long term. When you walk, blood pumps throughout your body, brain included. Oxygen and nutrient levels rise, helping nerve cells work better and making connections between memory and decision-making areas more agile, especially in the morning. Fresh air and gentle sunlight help produce serotonin and dopamine, key for optimism and sharp recall. Harvard Medical School research shows just 30 minutes of walking each morning can boost cognitive function and cut dementia risk by up to 40% in those over 65. In fact, regular walkers' brains often seem to age slower by nearly a decade compared to less active peers. Ever seen a loved one seem lost in thought mid-task, wishing you could gently bring them back? Take Joe, 78, from Michigan. He'd forget to pick up his grandson, get lost driving home, and once blanked in front of the grocery store, unsure what he needed. After his doctor suggested morning walks, he started with 10 minutes daily around his neighborhood. 3 months on, not only was his memory better, but he said, "I walk not to live longer, but to remember I'm living each day." Skip morning walks, and you're essentially letting your brain snooze for extra hours. But just waking up a bit earlier and stepping out gives your brain a chance to refresh and energize. Each step pumps blood to the brain. The more regular the steps, the clearer the memory. You don't need to go far. A lap around the yard, a stroll down the hall, or even marching in place on your porch to some music works. Just do it regularly, a bit each day, as consistently as the morning sun. Imagine instead of memory fading with age, you can awaken it with a few simple, gentle, consistent steps. The brain, like the heart, gets stronger with exercise, more resilient over time. You can hit snooze for an extra 30 minutes, but don't wonder why your memory feels foggy. Instead of letting your brain age quietly, wake it up with every step while you still can. Walking helps blood get to the brain, but keeping memory sharp requires something else: connection. You might lose precious memories just from not talking enough each day. Brains don't wear out from age. They can fade from too much silence. Many seniors start forgetting, not because their brains are weak, but because they're living too quietly. Isolation, limited conversation, or sticking to routine tasks means the brain isn't getting stimulated like it used to. And when it's not exercised, memory can fade, like an untrodden path, slowly getting overgrown. Chatting, a few pleasantries, a call to family, or morning coffee with an old friend, these are all great for keeping your brain alert and active. Every conversation makes your brain remember, respond, organize thoughts, pick words, all vital for memory, thinking, and emotion. A University of Michigan study found that seniors who chat regularly have up to 20% better memory and cognitive scores than less social folks. Interestingly, even just 10 minutes of good conversation daily can make a noticeable difference in a few weeks. Memory is like a room with windows. Without conversation, no fresh air comes in and dust quietly settles. Linda, 74, from Wisconsin, once felt lost when her child recalled a story from 3 days before. Sometimes she couldn't remember if she'd eaten, but then a neighbor invited her for daily morning walks, just walking and talking. She felt her mind opened up, like a fresh breeze. After only a month, her spirits were brighter, and her memory surprisingly improved, even remembering her grandchild's name without fridge notes. If you're too silent, you're letting your memory gather dust daily. But just speaking up, starting a chat, making a call, you give your brain a gentle, natural workout. The solution is simple. Each day, find at least one person to talk to, even for just a few minutes. It could be a grandchild, an old friend, a neighbor, or even a familiar shopkeeper. Talking isn't about killing time. It's about living each minute more fully. And if this is striking a chord with you, maybe give us a thumbs up or consider subscribing. It really helps me know this is useful and encourages me to share more simple, practical ways to keep your memory sharp for many years to come. You can choose silence today, but don't be surprised if one day you struggle to recall your dearest friend's name. Call someone. Let your memory know it still has a reason to function. We're not done yet. What's next is even more powerful. Stick around. Chatting trains your brain daily, but for long-term clarity, you also need the right fuel for it to function. And that's omega-3. Many spend fortunes on brain supplements, thinking expensive means effective, unaware that remembering a grandchild's name or medication times could be helped by just a few walnuts and some fish weekly. Many seniors think memory decline is natural and unavoidable, but modern science shows our brains can regenerate and stay sharp if nourished properly. And one of the best, safest ways to nourish it is through your weekly diet. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines are packed with omega-3s, good fats crucial for the brain, especially DHA. DHA is a key building block for nerve cell membranes, directly impacting processing speed, focus, and memory. Your brain is like a sponge. Less good fat means it gets drier, struggling to hold on to precious memories. And walnuts, shaped uncannily like tiny brains, also provide plant-based omega-3s, plus anti-inflammatory and antioxidant power to protect nerve cells. Research in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease shows seniors on omega-3 rich diets have more gray matter in memory and emotion-related brain areas. Another UCLA study linked regular walnut consumption to better cognitive abilities and a lower Alzheimer's risk. Richard, 79, from Colorado, struggled with his grandchild's name and mixed up medication times. His daughter, a nutritionist, added weekly salmon to his meals and gave him 5-6 walnuts each morning. After 2 months, his mind felt clearer, and he even started proactively organizing his schedule, something he'd found confusing before. Ignoring these foods means starving your brain of core nutrients. Unfortunately, many opt for processed foods, low in healthy fats, letting their brains dry up over time. The solution is simple. Aim for at least 2 servings of fatty fish weekly, grilled, steamed, or in soup. And each morning, instead of pastries or processed snacks, try a few walnuts. Just a handful can nourish your brain. Memory is like a garden. With the right nourishment at the right time, even with age, it can stay vibrant, its essence strong. Fish and walnuts nourish nerve cells, but for memory to truly take root, you need another simple, often forgotten habit: handwriting notes. Last week, an elderly man nearly took sleeping pills instead of his heart medication because he hadn't written down the doctor's instructions. That single near miss could have had irreversible consequences. In our age of smartphones and tablets, many are used to quick typing over handwriting. But for seniors, dropping the habit of writing on paper means giving up one of the easiest ways to keep memory sharp over the years. When you handwrite, your brain simultaneously activates multiple areas: vision for letters, motor skills for hand control, and memory for recording info. This coordination makes the brain work harder, helping retain info longer than just listening or typing. Handwriting forces you to slow down, and in that slowness, memory is emboldened. A Princeton and UCLA study found seniors taking notes by hand remember content significantly better than those typing on devices. Writing activates the hippocampus, the brain's memory hub, making it easier for info to reach long-term memory. Ella Lechner, 82, from Oregon, loved journaling when younger, but eventually switched to phone notes. She then noticed she often forgot small tasks, mixed up schedules, and couldn't clearly recall her doctor's advice. Advised to return to pen and paper, she started writing each morning. A to-do list, something she was grateful for, and her medication schedule. After just a few weeks, her mind felt clearer, and she even started remembering old songs she thought were long forgotten. If you hesitate to write due to slowness, shaky hands, or messy script, remember it's not about beauty, but about holding on to what's precious. Each stroke is a signal to the brain. This is important. Remember it. Use a small notebook. Write a few lines daily. Jot down tasks, favorite foods, a daily story, or just your morning mood. Don't overthink. Just write consistently. And you'll see, your hand might tremble, but your memory, nurtured by written words, will stand firmer against time. You see, memory doesn't abandon you. It just needs a gentle nudge, bit by bit, to reawaken. We often call those senior moments, forgetting names, misplacing glasses, as if they're just an inevitable part of aging. But the truth is, your brain is incredibly loyal. It can still learn, remember, and even get sharper, whether you're over 60 or 80. The issue isn't age. It's whether you're giving your brain what it truly needs. A short walk, a warm chat, a handwritten note, instead of offloading everything to your phone. Each small act is like a love note to your memory. These tips, walking, handwriting, daily chats, do more than just preserve memory. They preserve you, the you you've always been. And the wonderful thing, the more you nurture it, the more your memory will respond. So today, if one tip feels easy enough to try, start there. No rush, no pressure, just be consistent and kind to yourself. If this video resonated or brought some comfort, maybe share it with someone who's also worried about gradually forgetting. Because sometimes just a kind word is enough to help someone feel less alone on this memory-keeping journey. Thanks for sticking with us to the end. Remember, you're not losing your mind. You're simply relearning how to cherish your amazing memory.